Timaru, Mainland, South Island, New Zealand. Round number 3 of our New Zealand Superbike Road Racing Championships, taking a 6-week break now until the first week of March before we have our 4th and final decisive round at Hampton Downs, south of Auckland City of Sales, the only round in the North Island this year with these fantastic great tracks. There we go, and Shane Richardson again, another great start. In fact, a better one on the inside from that time, I think, Damon Rees. So a better start from Damon. He was really disappointed in his last up start. He's been really complaining about his lack of energy here today, and really hoped that he was motivated. He had a very refreshing lunch break, including a bit of fruit, and just really trying to get himself revitalised. Some good drink on board as well, including Go Fast Energy. And there he is out there at the moment, and good run. In fact, he's looking at the slipstream. Look at the slipstream to see whether he can move up on Cam Hudson. That would be unbelievable if he can. No, he can't. So it'll be Shane Richardson to take the advantage ahead of Cam Hudson. Go to Damon Rees with Jeremy Holmes up there as well. Aaron Hassan, the young 16-year-old from Australia. Ted Collins on letter T with Dan Metam in there as well. So great start from our Dynoworks. Dynoworks, of course, just up the road at Ashburton, the motorcycle dining tuning specialist, the best in the South Island by far. Contact Brendan on 027 328 427. Of course, it is now young Andrew Rudd, who's doing his apprenticeship in time. He's doing a lot of good dyno work now, really starting to come to grips and understanding what dyno tuning is all about. So check it out, Dynoworks with an X on board as we go to 28 to go with Cam Hudson in there, looking into Damon Rees, Jeremy Holmes, the 2 Hondas looking good amongst the Kawasaki and Yamaha, and then the Suzuki's behind him, 3 in a row. Ted Collins, Aaron Hassan and Daniel Metam. Well, we saw what a poor start Daniel Metam had last time, Spider Staples, and not the best of qualifying, but he did the work and got up there to almost make the podium. But I tell you what, looks again to be a Shane Richardson, Cam Hudson program to repeat of race 1.
Well, as we see that, Cam Hudson got into the slipstream behind the Kawasaki and has taken it into John Jones' corner. Almost with ease, it's probably 2 to 3 bike length. Yeah, Dan Metam back in the 7th place. This is not very characteristic of young Dan either. It's not a good race for him at all so far. But, OK, he'll get out there. He's got a good level head on him and just gain some points because he needs all those points he can get. He's reasonably high in the championship, but certainly Cam Hudson coming out of the hairpin. The Yamaha, the orange and white Yamaha, the number 61 machine, the Trevor Pierce Yamaha flying into action. I checked these guys' bikes out. Interesting, Shane Richardson's running a rear tyre that's been used before. They've got a normal allocation of 5 tyres for the weekend. You must qualify and start the first race on your qualifying tyres, and then you've got spare tyres for the rest of the weekend. That's for 3 races. Of course, we've got only 2 with the cancellation of yesterday's racing, so it's interesting that Shane Richardson has the confidence to go out on a warm tyre. There's a 15-lap race. That tyre probably only 15 laps unless it's an old practice tyre. Damon Rees sitting there in 3rd place. He may be gobbled up by Jeremy Holmes. Who's the quickest of these two? In fact, the 5.6 for Jeremy Holmes, but Damon Rees out there on a 5.8, so 0.2 of a second quicker. Jeremy Holmes, of course, he can close up that gap, but he's got to get past, and Damon Rees is no slug round the racetrack here at Levels. He's been no slug all season, you know. The man was out last season and sort of ho-hum finishes, and bang, he is just on fire this year and suffering at the moment with a bit of illness and just lacking energy, as Neil Ritchie reported.
I like to see that part, Spider, when they come up towards the hairpin, because you get perfectly at right angles to us, so we get a better perspective of the distance between the riders and the speed that they do come into the hairpin, like a potential change coming up and somebody dabbing on the inside back there in about 8th place. But here we are, back to the front, Cam Hudson in the lead. Go to Shane Richardson, go to Damon Rees from Jeremy Holmes, looking back to that 5th spot. And young Aaron Hassan doing an extremely good job in this class. A man doing so much learning and improving. He's been on the podium, I think, twice in the previous 6 races of the championship, so he's loving every opportunity to be on a podium and thoroughly deserves, as the young man improves all the time with his racing. Great to watch the young and confident Suzuki man ahead of Dan Metam from Ted Collins. Royd Walker Holt ahead of Rex Minchie. Go to Ben McConaughey having his debut in Dynoworks Superstock Racing. In fact, he's on the Dynoworks Andrew Rudd bike as well, so wishing him all the best for some great racing out there. So Ben McConaughey, maybe the beginning of a whole new lot of riding from a young man who certainly has done a great bit of riding excellence since he made his change from motocross through to road racing via the motard class, which many of them, like the Toby Summers, have done. The first time I ever saw Toby in New Zealand was him riding in motocross, moving to motard, moving up to 600s and now into superbikes, and it certainly has been a great stepping ground to go through motard racing, learning how to control the bike, slide a bike, and it proves once again in motocross background, oh so confident. You've only got to look at those men in second and third place out there, Shane Richardson and Damon Reeves, both very good young junior and early senior motocross riders before they change to the Ctas, and that's where you can see their influence. And when you think of those two riders, we've just seen Shane Richardson have his first win of the season in the previous race. Damon, now this time last year, well unfortunately it had a crash here at Levels, but he was only in his first season, so this is really his first full year to have done a campaign, and look at the improvement that he's done. Oh, and maybe as I say that, Jeremy Holmes might have snuck up on the inside, oh so close. No, not the change, still in favour of the Honda pairing with Damon Reeves over Jeremy Holmes, but Cam Hudson, he's gone into the front Spider Stables and he's starting to clear out.
Oh, definitely a solid ride, and we wonder what he's going to do in the North Island, but right now he's consolidating and increasing his points lead, and certainly a class act. And we've seen some sensational 600 riding here over the years. Both the Alistair and James Hugenbosom dominated the season last year. The only people who could break that was Toby Summers on the Yamaha, who's moved up to Supersport 1000, and Cam, good level head, spare bike there, good team behind him, and it's all about consistency. But also
just to come into, and I don't really like to do it, but you talked about the tyre change for Shane, and he's getting sideways when he joins up with the track after the bus stop back onto the straight there. So don't know quite why that choice is made, because that's the sliding, losing traction tyre, and it seems to be that out in his performance. So any idea why you think that he stuck with it? No idea, because like I say, they should have had spare tyres. In fact, he did a 105.298. Cameron Hudson, 1,000ths of a second off the fours, a 105.001. So 105.3 effectively for Shane, 105.4 for Damon, and a 105.401 for Jeremy Holmes. So all the guys on the pace at the moment, but nobody into the fours. The lap record is a 104.545 set by Alistair Hugenbosom. As we look over at the hairpin here, this is a 15-lap race. We're a third of the way through it. It's very interesting that used tyre choice by Shane Richardson. They've no shortage of tyres in that pit, so we'll have to catch up on the information and find that. But as Neil Ritchie said, he's getting some sliding, and Seth Devereaux's here up to give us a bit of information about the tyre choice. Right, Seth, thanks for joining us up here. Some bike problems for Seth himself, so he's decided to flag it. You've been doing a lot of work to help Shane get back on the track. What's happening there, Seth?
Oh, it's not a bike problem. I got a concussion, so that's me out. But yeah, Shane has had more curveballs than I think a Major League Baseball player. Man, I'm proud of him for what he's achieving, considering what's been thrown at him. But you know, we had to build our third motor on Monday out of what's left of two that come unstuck. So unfortunate, but it seems to be holding together. And on the dyno, it's about one pony down on cams, but in a straight line down here doesn't really matter. 1 horsepower, you won't notice it. Whoever's in the draft, whoever's got the better drive, it's who's going to go for quickest in the straight.
And what about the tyre choice? Why do you think he's gone out there on a used tyre, Seth?
I can tell you exactly why. It's an SC1, so what you need 35 degrees surface temperature to make an SC0 or a soft compound work. It was about 28 degrees of surface temperature before they went on track, so... Oh no.
Alright, the hand's up for Shane Richardson. The hand is up coming into the bus stop. So back to the tyre choice. What happened there?
Yeah, basically you need 35 degrees surface temperature, or you'll start to tear. He's looking down, so Shane's looks like he's had a mechanical, which is unfortunate. But yeah, if you don't have 35 degrees of surface temperature to run SC0, which is a soft compound, it'll just shred. So there wasn't a surface temperature, so he had to go to an SC1. Didn't have any new ones, had a tidy second-hand one, but unfortunately, another.
Yeah, he's sitting up on the tyre wall, oh so dejected. That's a bit of a disappointment. The main thing is the guy's upright and okay. The main thing is he's upright and okay. So let's look at these lap times, and getting faster and faster. We had a 15001 for Cam Hudson. He's popped up about 10th of a second. It's a 105.090. He's got a great of about 3.1 seconds, so we're halfway through the race. So he'll be getting a pit pulled out, telling him that he doesn't have to go as fast as he's doing and settle down. The old story is win the race in the slowest possible time is what you need to do, and build up on the points lead and that. And there's the battle going on between Jeremy Holmes and Aaron Hassan. There's a go across the start-finish stripe, and Aaron Hassan is climbing in there, and we got a report that maybe Damon is missing from the action. We've got some binoculars there. Maybe Damon Reeves is missing from the action. In fact, looking at our timing, it is definitely Damon Reeves has dropped right back off. So a DNF for Damon Reeves. So two of the top runners there. sidelined here already and halfway through the second race of the weekend for the Supersport 600s.
Well, here it is, Cam Hudson with the best time at a 1:05.001, so he did that earlier in the race, so he just needs to slow up now. I'll tell you what, because the guys that were around and putting all the pressure on, they're the ones that have dropped and folded. So Jeremy Holmes coming out of fourth place, straight into second, of course. When you lose two of your top three, everybody else moving up as well, including Aaron Hesson into third place. That'll be another podium for young Aaron. This will be great for him, with Daniel Meadham, Ted Collins, Roy Walker, Holt, Rex Mincher, then Ben McConaughey, David Lee and Robert Gibson making our top 10. Add in there as well Peter Allison. I think Peter comes out of the second group from Aaron Hesson through to second. Here's the update, and Seth watching out for this one. And Aaron second. I think the other podium he made was only a third, so improving ride for him. You're keeping an eye on him, Seth. You're out there and racing with him. Is he a young man on the move?
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. I mean, obviously he has some fast family, but they've just managed to get past the mobile chicane that caught me out in the form of John Crawford. But yeah, I think Aaron there got the kind of luck of the draw, got in before the apex, so it might be enough for him to put a wee gap on Jeremy. And I wonder whether Jeremy's Metzlers are going to last. I think the Pirelli's SE0 seems to be handling the heat a bit more than those ones of a Metzler. But it'll be interesting to see. Jeremy's very experienced, knows how to make suspension work, where although to be in saying that, Aaron's got Robert Taylor on his team, so you can't say he's not good at it. I mean, he's the best in the business, isn't he?
All right, so we're talking about tyres and suspension, the two main additives as far as the bike's concerned. I suppose you got four of them, and the bike would actually rate as number 4 out of that. So you've got a rider with the tyre choice and the suspension set up, and then of course coming down to the bike itself. And there's not a lot between these various models. We saw it before, where we had one of each of the major brands represented in the top 4 of our last race, with a Kawasaki, a Yamaha, a Suzuki, and a Honda. Great performance by our manufacturer support out there. But it's Yamaha's Cameron Hudson to do the leading at the moment. Suzuki's Aaron Hesson to do second place, and Invercargill's Southland Honda man Jeremy Holmes, and they're ahead of Dan Meadham. So we go, and this time we go Yamaha to Suzuki, Honda and Suzuki, back to Suzuki with Suzuki and Yamaha. So a little mix up before we go to Kawasaki's Marcus Begley. Team Biggles Racing, love Biggles Racing, courtesy of Restarace, RMC, Chelsea Contracting, Dunlop, along with the track signs, RBR, Shirai, Ctas, Red Baron and World Sport Inter-Islander. Just some of the great people behind the lovely Begley family, because of course making the South Island trip from Auckland is a great family adventure, and doing so much all around the South Island, loving it. And loving Marcus's updates on Facebook, so positive about riding, and as well well selected as a rider's rep. He's getting a lot of respect now in that role, Spider. So the guy obviously learns and understands and knows about racing. He doesn't have to be a winner. He's an all-round good guy, isn't he?
Oh, and a big effort for them too, because him and his partner had a baby. Him and his partner Don had a baby, young Riker, this year, and that extra level of the financial burdens, just the drag on, well, the extra time in your life with having a child, and for them to come down south, it's an extra big effort for the Biggles racing team. So great to have him out there. Cameron Hudson still doing it, 11 laps down of a 15-lap race. He's got a 6-second lead. It is still Aaron Hassan. You see them going down that back straight there. At one stage, Aaron was 0.9 of a second quicker about 3 laps ago than Jeremy, but Jeremy is up to fire here, and they go off the John Jones steel corner there, and probably 12 bike lengths between second and third there. So good valuable points for both of these people, and I know Aaron Hassan has just had the highlight of his racing career. He's done it for a few seasons, coming down here in the South Island, and today, yesterday he qualified to be on the front row. He says, it's my first front row for qualifying, and absolutely great. And we've already seen him with a couple of podiums, and right now sitting in a good solid second spot there. We see Cam Hudson on the 61 Trevor Pierce Yamaha, flip-flopping it through there. Man, no one leads a bike over as far as he does this weekend as he goes through that bus stop. Absolute perfect performance, and we don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. There's the battle for second place there, coming across the back marker. Aaron Hassan has to slow down just that little bit, but and that gives Jeremy Holmes a bit of time to move up there, but Aaron goes through that back marker, and now it is Jeremy Holmes' turn to sit in behind that bike, not affecting his performance coming out of the corner. In fact, gaining a little bit of strip stream. He's just got to work out which way that back marker wants to go. The back marker held his line, so Jeremy Holmes going out the back. Another one coming into the John Jones steel corner, and that is not going to hold up Aaron Hassan there on the number 14 Suzuki. He gets past him with ease, and Jeremy Holmes hunts down that back marker.
All right, so Cam Hudson, your race leader out of Christchurch. Auckland's Aaron Hesson, Invercargill's Jeremy Holmes, Auckland's Daniel Meadham, along along with Australian rider Ted Collins, go to Auckland's Royd Walker Holt, Auckland's Marcus Begbie, Taupo's Rex Mincher. So a good mix geographically of these dynamic riders. It is the Dynaworks sponsored Super Sport class. The domination of these 600cc bike Super Sport. We're adopting the same name as is used for Super Sport racing around the world. Part of the support package, of course, with Super Bikes, which will, what are we now? What, 4 weeks this week? I think it's 4 weeks this week till Phillip Island in the opening round of World Superbikes. And my wife looking forward to making the trip. It's always a great one and a favourite of hers and many other Kiwis going across in a support role for that. So we're wishing everybody all the best. Can't wait for World Supers. Some of our World Supers, why they get far less media than MotoGP, I can't understand, because as a racing connoisseur, I just love it as much, and for the fact that, of course, we get extra racing in it as well, and just how close the likes of a Super Sport and a Super Stock class are great to see. More importantly, quality motorcycle racing. So bring it on with Dynaworks and our Super Sport 600, and we've got still Cam Hudson. The lead now, Spider Staples out to 7.4 seconds. This guy, Cam Hudson, he's close to invincible now. This title's his to lose for my money.
Oh, certainly, but he hasn't got that way all on his own riding. Unfortunately, two of the top riders there in second and third have dropped out there. We've got the white flag out. It is the final lap. So credit where credit's due. Cameron Hudson is riding well. It's just unfortunate that we're seeing Shane Richardson sidelined, and somewhere around the track we're missing Damon Rees. He went out in about lap 5 or 6. Yeah, Shane Richardson. In fact, it was Damon Rees went out first on lap 5, and Shane Richardson's right in front of us on lap 6. A lonely ride there for Daniel Medham. He's on the 34 bike, and Dan is going around there. It's still got a fourth place. Ted Collins, a young Australian guy, had a word with him. I says, how you doing? He says, you get to grips with the track very well. He says, seems to. And he said, this is my only third time on a 600cc bike. Does Moto 3 over in Australia. They're the little 250 bikes, single cylinder bikes that have replaced the 125 GP class. He's not sure whether Ted Collins is not sure whether he's going to get back to Hampton Downs, because the very next week they are racing in the Australian 600cc class over there. So he's suffering a little bit from lack of fitness and that. The white flag is out, and we're seeing it up on the big screen there as well. Last lap. In fact, the white flag's gone. There is the checkered flag. There is the checkered flag for Cam Hudson now. And another 25 points, another 25 points. That's just making a big ring. Aaron Hassan coming through, second place. He's got a big break over and above Jeremy. Jeremy sort of backed off on that last lap. In fact, Jeremy backed off by 2 seconds. He just put his fist up as he went through the start-finish line. He knows he's got 3 thirds, so 3 sets of points, or more than 3 points. I think it's 20 points for second place. In fact, it's 20 for second, and it is 16 points for a third place. So that's Jeremy Home to go through the Dan Medham on the 34 machine, the Coleman's K-Road machine, Ted Collins. Then we got Royd Walker Holt. Can't quite see whether Royd's gone through there. We're looking for a white bike. Royd Walker Holt absent from the